Let's go through some of the Tesla software features we've got recently and some of the ones we're still waiting for. First up is the 360 camera view that we still do not have in Teslas. A lot of people have been asking for this feature over the years, and I have had a chance to try it out on some other brands like Polestar. Personally, I'm not convinced it's a must-have type of thing because the camera view that you get in Teslas is just so good anyway on that massive touchscreen and having the 3 different camera views. But I also do believe that if Tesla were to roll this out, many customers would appreciate it. Some people say that because there's no front bumper camera in Teslas that this feature would not be possible. I think that Tesla would be able to do it if they wanted to, so time will tell if we end up getting something like this. But what we did get recently was high fidelity park assist. Now this is known as Tesla Vision. The cameras in the car are determining in real time the environment around it and rendering it out on the screen. Now this is the first iteration that we're seeing. It will only get better in time, but so far, I've been really impressed with it. I've found it really useful when parking. A safety feature that we don't have in Teslas is the rear cross traffic alert. I've been in Mazdas and Mercedes that have this feature when you're reversing out of a car spot and there's a car passing you, it's going to stop you or alert you. The camera system in the Teslas is so good that I feel like you can see everything, but it would be a nice additional safety feature for Tesla to roll out. Recently, we got full screen autopilot visualizations, which I think is really cool to see. It's not all that useful if you're actually driving the car. It's possibly, some people might find it a bit distracting, but certainly shows off the technology and the camera system and what it's seeing around you at all times. In possibly the most impressive software feature that's been rolled out to our car since we've owned it over the last 2 years has been the Matrix LED headlights. So now when we're driving at nighttime, the high beams come on, but they block out all the surrounding cars whilst they're moving. Tesla had the hardware in the lights. We had just been waiting for so long for the software to come with it as well. And it feels like a very high-end type of feature that you would get on a much more expensive car. And Tesla have done this before where they ship the hardware and knowing that in the future they'll work on the software. Something where that hasn't necessarily come to fruition just yet is the auto windscreen wipers. This has faced so much criticism over the years. It has gotten significantly better, especially in the last sort of 3 months. I feel like there's been some really good improvements, but it's still not perfect. And some people would argue that having a rain sensor in the car would just work better than the camera system trying to determine whether it's raining or not. But Tesla does believe it will get to a point where it should be just as good, if not better, than having a rain sensor. When it comes to driving on the highway, especially here in Melbourne, we've been hoping that the Tesla would start to read digital speed signs, so the ones that are variable and flash, and they're normally up a lot higher than your standard speed signs. There has been glimpses of hope where it kind of reads them momentarily, and reports out of Europe, some people believed that it was starting to read digital signs, but that hasn't really progressed. So often when you are driving on Melbourne freeways with these type of signs, you do have to just keep your eye on what autopilot is sensing, because sometimes it might think that the speed limit is greater or lower than what it actually is. Now, Teslas don't come with blind spot indicators in the mirrors. The new Model 3 actually has one built into the side door. But for cars like ours, lots of people had been saying we need this safety feature. If we're going to merge, we want to know if there's a car in our blind spot. Well, Tesla firstly introduced the camera view when indicating. It pops up on the screen, looks really great. I use that all the time and I don't feel like I need to head check. But then they took it one step further, and now if there's a car sitting in the lane that you're indicating to, it will actually flash red and kind of grab your attention as to like, no, you can't move over yet. Another cool new feature in the navigation is it's now showing speed cameras. It also integrates average speed zones, so it will display what your speed has been within the point A camera to the point B camera. We have a few of those in Victoria, so it's just great to see these Waze-like features. If you've used Waze before, you'll know what I'm talking about. They're starting to implement them natively into the Tesla, so that has been really nice. But on the downside, we actually don't have Waze, which was promised by Elon at one point there, that we'd get Waze integrated into the car as like a navigation option. We don't have that. I don't suspect it will come. I think Tesla's approach here is to just integrate some of these features within their own map system. We are also still waiting for the X app to come to the Teslas. Obviously, Elon owning X now, formerly Twitter. I use that every day, so it would be so cool to have the X app integrated into the car. Also, it looks like a brand new software update is rolling out as I'm recording this, which includes YouTube Music, Amazon Music, even things like parental controls, which has been requested for many years, but just makes so much sense that you could be driving on your L's and implement certain restrictions to make the whole driving experience safer. It's also allegedly got weather forecast and air quality built into the system. So yeah, this is going to be exciting. I'll try and do some content on that when it comes to my car. Full self-driving still has not come to Australia in the way that it has to the US. So we have seen some incredible developments with V12 yet to roll out to right-hand drive markets. There's lots of rumors about it being tested and hopefully it will come in the next 12 months. It's such an integral part of Tesla's software. So very much looking forward to the day that we would have something like that in Australia. The US also has the new and improved Auto Park, which is much better than the version we have here through enhanced autopilot. So Tesla is literally leapfrogging the competition. They're going from a bad Auto Park offering to now what I consider to be by far the best out of any automaker. So when it arrives in Australia, I'm looking forward to testing that out. Something that's been teased by Elon online has been actually Smart Summon. So the Smart Summon that is currently on offer is not it really hasn't changed that much over the years. It's not the most intelligent thing, but it's a cool party trick. Elon is saying now online that the new version of Smart Summon is incredible. So this is something for everyone to look forward to because it could actually be a very useful feature to have in your car. When it comes to the mobile app, we've seen a lot of updates over the years, but something we got recently that's really nice is Sentry mode alarm alerts. So what that means is if your car alarm goes off, you get a notification on your phone with a short clip of the video footage of what's going on around your car. So you're immediately able to determine if something bad is happening. Another nice one was the addition of Siri Shortcuts. So you can now use Siri to do various things on the car. If you've got your hands full and you're walking back to the car and you've got like an Apple Watch or something, you can quite easily open the boot or unlock the car. People have integrated different use cases of Siri Shortcuts paired with the Tesla app, and it's just cool to have that ability. What we don't have is Apple CarPlay, which is incredibly popular throughout the rest of the car world. But when it comes to Tesla, they are really dedicated to building their own entire UI system, and they're doing such a good job of this. I would easily take Tesla's system and approach over CarPlay. And a big one recently was Tesla working with Apple to bring Apple Music and Apple Podcasts natively to the Tesla screen. It works so well, and as someone that uses both of those apps on a daily basis, this has been a game changer. Charge on Solar is a relatively new feature that's available for Powerwall owners. So now the car will intelligently just power up from solar, and that's really cool to have that option if you do have that sort of setup. The voice commands in Teslas is pretty good. I have used them on occasion over the years. That being said, we're still waiting for an improved voice assistant. This would be awesome because you would not need to use the touchscreen as much. A small thing that Tesla implemented recently was faster playback when reviewing dashcam and Sentry mode clips. Owners had complained about this over the years, that it was just a little bit slow and laggy, and now it's like perfectly fast and works as you would expect it to. We're also now starting to see third-party chargers showing up on the map. It had always just been Tesla chargers, but you don't have the option to precondition for those fast chargers. So you often have to trick the system into thinking you're going to a Tesla supercharger, which will get the battery prepared for fast charging so you can charge at a non-Tesla charger. And the last one I wanted to touch on is vehicle to home. This is a feature that the new Cybertruck has. And I'm wondering whether it will roll out through a software update to other Teslas as well, because this would single-handedly be the biggest value unlock that the car can offer. Essentially, you've got a massive battery sitting in your garage or your driveway most of the time, and if you had a power outage, you could, like you can with the Cybertruck, connect the car and run your house off it in the case of an emergency. Like, that would be insane. So here's me hoping that the hardware that's needed to do something like that is already built into the cars, and Tesla would roll that out. Time will tell. It might be something that needs updated hardware, but considering a Powerwall is like 12 kilowatt hours and our Model Y is 60 kilowatt hours, it would be incredibly valuable to be able to utilize a feature like that. Now, there's a lot that we haven't included in this list because we've had about 30 different software updates since we've owned this car. It's almost been 2 years. So I really just wanted to make this video to give you some context as to how much Tesla prioritizes software. Yes, there's things that we're missing, but there's also some incredible updates that we've got. So yeah, hope you found this useful, and I'll catch you soon in another video.